What's up, guys? We're here to do a brand new episode of Rushdown Radio. I'm Michael.
And I'm Anthony.
Today we're going to be doing our 7th year anniversary.
Woo!
This has been such a journey doing this podcast and, working on this with all these people that I've known. And unfortunately, we had to downsize to just us two after a while.
Yeah. Not for any, terrible reasons.
Not for any terrible reasons. It's just that other people had other stuff they wanted to do with their life, and it didn't include Rushdown. So.
Which is fine.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. We're still friends with all those people, so it's not a bad thing. It's just, I think it's worked out for the best, honestly, coming back to just us two where it all started anyway. Because it just made things
easier to manage.
Man, much easier to manage. Oh, God. Remember when we first did our first episode? All those years ago at Slam Internet Radio. So for those who haven't been following us for that long, we used to do a podcast on Slam Internet Radio, which is like a small internet radio station. It was in Six Corners of Chicago.
Oh, it was small,
It was very tiny. That small little booth was really small, and we used to cram all 4 or 5 of us in that little room. Oh, God, those were funny days.
Yes.
It would be a 2-hour episode on Sundays.
Every Sunday, same time.
Oh, man, those were fun days because I did enjoy actually get out the house and going somewhere to actually do something. But then sometimes I was like, oh, my God, why?
It was rough. So, in the summer?
In the summer, it was super hot, and in the winter, it was super cold. So
yes.
It was it was not fun for those times.
But it felt good. Get up, go to this thing. Stop in the Family Dollar across the street.
Oh yeah, the Family Dollar runs were so good.
It was all pretty nice. We couldn't do that today though.
Oh God, no. We have too much going on in our lives. I mean, at that point we were much younger.
We were younger. We had less going on. We had a couple less responsibilities. At least me and Kitty did. She has so many names that I forget which one people know her by.
Oh yeah, she does go by a lot of names.
Yeah, now she's doing her own thing with someone else.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are doing other stuff. I think
Alexis went and did her own thing.
Yep.
What was it? War Kitten?
Yep. She's doing, I think, her own podcasts and stuff like that.
Well,
so yeah,
we had a pretty good team, and like he said, they had their own things going on, which was fine.
Yeah, and then we kind of downsized, and then unfortunately we had that long when I was just decided not to do it anymore, which was for dumb reasons. Now looking back, I
feel like we stopped because of the unfortunate passing of the person who helped facilitate us doing the radio show in the first place. Yeah. And the person who took over was unpleasant, we'll say. Yeah,
it was unfortunate how that all played out. But we met some really cool people, too.
Yeah, I still talk to the guy who did all the mixing, Danny.
Yeah.
I still talk to that guy.
Yeah, he was really cool. I forgot about, we met Alex through that show, too.
Yeah.
Because she did that anime show with them. Then she left them to do her own thing, too. So it worked out for a lot of reasons because we were able to, it pretty much was a launch pad for everything we're doing now.
Yes. Although, I will say that my favorite thing about doing that was the commercials.
The commercial, not that bad, but commercials. I knew it. Oh my God. I knew it.
It's so good.
Only had the archives for our old episodes.
It was so good.
Anthony was to die laughing about these stupid Bama commercials that used to come on.
But it was such a good commercial.
I'm so over it. I'm over it. I am over it. The fact that you still remember that to this day, that was 6 years ago. I'm so over it. I'm so done. I'm so over it. The fact that you still remember that is ridiculous to me.
Good.
Ridiculous.
Look, it's okay.
Is it?
It's all right. It's part of our history.
Just mad. Just so bad that you remember that. You used to laugh like that every time.
Because it was funny every time. Of course, we also suffered the loss of Tyler.
Oh, God. Anyway.
He's off catching waves in the great beyond.
Whatever about that. That's neither here nor there. That's not even important.
Not to you. You didn't like Tyler.
I didn't. I had nothing to do with Tyler.
Tyler did nothing wrong.
I bet.
He lived his best gamer life.
Anywho, I do want to take a time to like remember some people who passed away during the time we were doing that.
Okay.
Which was like Daniel, who was like a big supporter of us, especially back in the heyday.
Oh,
yeah, that was sad.
I still think about him.
Oh, anytime Nintendo does anything, I think about him. Like he pops up
because Daniel was somebody I knew even before the show. I knew him a really long time. He was a great guy.
He was.
And I knew when I met him that he had the complications that he had that caused him to pass away. And it's like he just didn't let that hold him back from life, you know?
Nope. He even came on the show a couple of times. And
yeah, Dan, it's really hard to talk about him without getting choked up because he was one of my favorite people who I met on the North Side during the hard times of my life.
Mm-hmm.
He was just somebody I was always glad to see. He was always, I mean, he had his little bits of dark humor, but
yeah, but that was a part of his charm, though.
Right, it was hard to not be happy around him. It was hard to not feel relaxed and chill around him. He was a Nintendo evangelist.
Man, Nintendo could do no wrong in his eyes.
He showed me his Nintendo collection, and I knew it was going to be huge, but my goodness. If Nintendo put out an official product, he owned it. But, man.
Yeah, that was a tough loss, because he definitely supported the show so much. Back in the heyday when no one knew who we were. He was just supporting us back when we were level up.
Yeah.
that was an awkward time.
I told him about this thing we were doing. He was excited. He was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. It sounds great. And he was happy for us.
He was super happy for us. He was always like tuning in and listening if he could. And yeah, he was definitely a huge supporter of us. And
he let us know that like one of the things he enjoyed looking forward to. He let us know that we made him feel pretty happy with what we were doing. He was glad that there was more gaming outlets that weren't like IGN and things like that happening.
God, because that's the only thing that was really out at that point. So, I want to shift to another person that, he wasn't a super, how can I explain it? Like, he was a friend of mine, and we unfortunately had like a falling out. And then he had passed away, which was kind of hard. His name was Kiori. He was he was one of the people that like was really, how can I explain him? He was one of the people that like really like, what's that word? Critical. But you knew him being critical was him trying to make you better. That's the type of person he was when it came to like me and this whole like Rushdown Radio thing. Like for years, he was like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. And he was like giving me ideas and giving me like stuff I can do to make the show better and stuff like that. And like he always supported the show and whatnot. And he was one of the reasons why I even started doing it in the first place, because I was like, I argue so much. Why don't I just like argue on a show or something? And he's like, yeah, you should do it, blah, blah, blah. You should do that and you do this and you should upgrade this and you should do that and you should do this part of your marketing. I'm like, okay. And he was always really supportive of me and whatnot and wanted Rushdown to succeed. And then he passed away a couple of years ago, and that was kind of tough because I didn't get a chance to like talk to him before it happened. It was kind of like really hush hush because his family wanted a lot of people not to know it happened. So that was pretty tough. But yeah, Kiori was a very special person who came to keeping me going when I was not wanting to do Rushdown for a while. He was always like, you should just do it. You're really good at this, or this is something you love, and blah, blah, blah. So definitely want to remember him. And we just shout out the people who used to tune in like every week to our show.
Yes.
Like, so when we did this show, like a Slam Internet Radio, and it was a live show, we had people who were like listening every week. Like they were on our like Facebook page, like listening as we were recording. Like, so Joey, definitely. Let me go on my face. I can't remember everybody's name specifically.
Believe James Warren?
Yeah, James Warren and his husband Marcus.
Yes.
Who else? Those are like the main ones.
My dad.
Oh yeah, your dad too. I forgot.
Yep. He came on there just to make fun of me. But that's fine.
Like I used to, like, they would like comment as we were just doing the show, and it was always cool because we had like that, you know, interview, like that feedback immediately as we were doing it, so it was kind of cool and nice.
Yeah, and thankfully we had Erica there to help us out with it.
Yeah, we definitely needed that because it was hard trying to do the show and respond to comments and stuff at the same time. So that was cool. They've always been like, "Oh, you should do a live show." And like, doing a live show would be hard now, but maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe like a special, like one of my things I thought about doing was like a live show, like a convention or something. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, we just gotta find a good convention to be at that would have us, which is, it's not the hardest, because anyone can get a panel these days.
Really could. Like, it's easy to do that part. But yeah, I would love to do like a live show at a convention. That's one of my goals, actually. But that's in the making for later.
Yeah, I'm sure we could eventually get up to. See, we gotta get like equipment upgrades and stuff to do like live podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, we're not there yet, but we'll get there eventually. But
yeah, we gotta get those big dollary dudes.
So, do you want to talk about any like stories or things that have happened on Vita that you really like loved over these last 7 years that like you remember still, besides the Beba commercial?
All right, man. Look. All right. The Beba commercial was special to me. Okay. Oh man, I just thought of one, and at the moment it was upsetting, but it was one of my favorite times when I was talking about the Resident Evil game. You all know the one, Raccoon City.
Oh, that game. Cursed
game. And it's like, I felt like it was that moment that people was like, God, he's like the embodiment of rage. But that was a fun episode to just rant on about this game and make that a thing. That I like now it's like every time that game was brought up, it's like a meme of our show, that game. To think about that game, to talk about it, it still does, mind you.
Does it accept you as much as you used to back
then? No, not that much.
To get the rage.
I could take a deep breath and just think about something else now, but at the time, that was a cursed game, and it feels like that game became associated with me. So that was something that I liked. That's one of my favorite moments. Of course, the in-between moments, the behind-the-scenes moments where we just got to shoot the shit with people online, play some Vita games when that was a thing.
Oh, the Vita was such a big part of Slam Internet Radio when we were doing it at that point. Like, it was. Remember we transitioned from that to 3DS?
Yes. I mean, we were Vita shills at the moment.
So Vita shills.
I bought Street Fighter Cross Tekken for it. I bought Marvel for it, and we were like, yeah, this is great. And it wasn't.
Remember that Star Wars was supposed to come, not Star Wars, but Fantasy Star was supposed to come out?
Oh.
It never did to this day.
Never.
They made a whole announcement and just nothing.
And we were waiting.
I was waiting patiently.
I remember we made a big deal about that thing.
We did.
We were hype.
We were super hype. We had Adrian on the show that one time, and he was hyping things up.
Yes.
And that just never came to fruition at
all.
all. It was just like...
I mean, it didn't come to America at all, but, I mean, you can download the Japanese version. It exists.
There's like a patch that uses like put English like translation for some of the like menus and stuff.
What?
You didn't hear about the patch?
That's another time, Michael.
It is another time.
We'll talk about this at the end of this.
Okay.
Oh,
do you have any like favorite stories that you remember?
Favorite stories. Because
there was like, we just covered so much stuff.
I remember we covered, oh man, that was a lot of treacherous stuff we covered.
I think the one that I remember probably the most vivid would be that thing that happened with Kingdom Amalur.
Oh.
That was such a big deal.
That was a mess.
That was
that was in weeks in the making.
Yeah, I think they just like finished up that trial for all that stuff, and everybody got their money finally.
Yeah,
and now they're trying to get I think what is it? THQ Nordic trying to buy that stuff.
Yeah, but then EA
by EA.
EA's like, I don't know about this fam. How we gonna make money off of it? Even though they're making money off literally everything else.
Yeah.
Man, remember when we talked about pre-order stuff? Like, that was the worst thing?
Man, remember we talking about mobile gaming? Like, this is stupid. It ain't gonna go nowhere.
That didn't age well at all.
That didn't age well at all. Like, ooh. Man, oh God. Like,
can we get a oof for that bad call?
Oof! Like, that hurt because we was like, this isn't gonna go anywhere.
Right, we were like, people would rather play on their mobile. Why would you play on your phone when you have a 3DS?
Yep, we literally said that. And now we have games that we downloaded to the cell phones now. I have a couple too. I have like, what is it? What's on mine right now?
I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh on my stuff right now.
Let me look really quick.
My phone is my Yu-Gi-Oh machine.
I am playing the Brave Escavist, the Final Fantasy game. I'm also playing the Opera Omnia, the better version of Dissidia.
Man, there's so many games coming out tomorrow. Some that shouldn't.
It's just crazy how like stuff has changed and shifted over these last 7 years, and just
technology has evolved, man.
Remember how we used to struggle to make reviews? We used to do like the reviews on like Facebook Notes.
Oh my god!
And now we're doing like full on like video reviews and stuff.
Yeah, because people now we can get games from people before the game is out.
Oh yes, that was.
We done came up, man.
We really did. Shout out to all of the developers and publishers who give us games.
This
is always shout out to NIS for being not only probably the nicest company that gave us a chance, but just being like really the communication that we have between them is so easy and seamless. Like they're just,
even though I kind of screwed up a couple times.
I mean, we all made mistakes.
Like that, this guy, I still regret that this guy 5 review.
Why?
That's like I feel like that might be the lowest point I've ever had.
Why?
As far as reviewing, because I felt like that game wasn't given the chance I should have given it, right? I felt like I really rushed that review because I didn't really get to play the game as much as I wanted to, because it came out for PS4, and when we got the code, I didn't have a PS4.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But now, not only do I have it, I felt like even as an apology, I bought the game on Switch, and I played through it. And it's like, that's just not the game I thought it was. This game is not as bad as I thought it was to begin with. And I felt so bad. So bad. Like that review is I feel like that's going to be the review that haunts me. Because I just feel like I wasn't fair. It was rushed. I mean, yeah, I still think it's not perfect. And it's not like my favorite Disgaea all of a sudden. But I felt like I was overly harsh.
Aww.
And it didn't deserve it.
Sad face.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we have those. I'm sure you have one.
No.
Nice. Damn, he over here talking, I don't have a low point in anything I ever said. I meant every word.
When it comes to review, I honestly mean all the words I say when I play these games. Like, I think for Disgaea it was hard because that's a long game.
Yeah.
Because like when I play are usually not as long as Disgaea. So I'm able to like, okay, I know what I like. Yeah, so I know immediately, okay, I know like this, especially JRPGs. I played a million of them over the last like 20 years of my life. So I know going in exactly what I want out of it, what I should look for, and what I should look for this review. And that's easy to like pick stuff out. So yeah, this is for me. Like,
I mean, thankfully I've learned since then to give games their proper time. Like,
yeah.
If I feel like it's about to be long, I'm gonna take my time with it.
Yeah, definitely need that.
But if it feels like it's going to be short, I'm going to do what I need to do. You know, I feel like that review, it taught me enough about reviewing that I think I've done better since.
Oh, yeah. I mean, your fighting reviews are like, those are so godlike. Like the Blaze Blue one is at like 20, like, K, like, I mean, not like 20K, like, views right now. So
that makes me feel good because
like
there are times I put out reviews and I'm just like, not as confident as I should be in them, I guess. Because I'm a person who is very full of self-doubt, and I don't want to say I'm a perfectionist, but I kind of look at other reviews sometimes, and I'm just like, man, I didn't say that. I didn't mention that.
Don't be like that one guy who's up there plagiarizing stuff.
No. See, I do it after I've done mine. Okay.
He does research, quote, quote.
No.
We don't do that.
See, I do it after I've done mine.
Yeah, I read reviews after I've already done my reviews. I don't want anybody's review. I don't want anyone else's opinion to like spill over into my own.
Right.
Which is probably the best way to do it, because that's the most ethical way to do it as well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, compare notes, see what you missed, and I'm not gonna go back on anything I said besides the review I already talked about.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think of this whole experience of doing Rushdown Radio, I think the people I've met probably has been like the greatest part of this. Cause like I've met so many incredible people over these last 7 years, and I don't think I would have met them had I not did it. Like, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I would have met so many people in the industry that I know now, and people on Twitter that I've met through this, and just like overall people like, man, your show's cool. I mean, we don't have like the biggest audience, but I feel like the people who do listen to us like regularly, because we do have people who listen to our show like regularly. So
shout out to you guys.
Yeah. I think there's like different sectors of our like people who listen to us. It's like the people who go to our website regularly, then people who go listen to our podcast regularly, and then some people just go to YouTube regularly. I wish you guys would just go do everything all the time. That would be great. Like just do all three. But if you just want to hear a podcast, that's cool. If you want to watch our reviews on YouTube, that's cool. If you want to just look stuff on our website, that's cool too. But all three is cool too. You do all of this.
Michael.
I'm just saying, like, we have a lot of cool content everywhere.
Fair, but still.
Yeah. But shout out to the podcast people for right now, because this definitely is about you guys, because you guys have definitely been sticking with us through all the different changes we've had over the years and different formats.
Yes, we've had a few, but I think now we're stable.
We're definitely stable. Like, I think the Spreaker has definitely been the best format for our like podcast to be housed on, because it allows us to be on every single facet of like digital media.
Yeah, we Spotify boys now.
Spotify boy. I need to put like a whole like announcement about that, because that's huge.
Yeah, we Spotify boys now.
So we're on Spotify, we're on Google Play, and we're on iTunes. So like,
I mean, maybe one day we'll be on Tidal.
Do Tidal even do podcasts?
I don't know.
I mean, eventually it probably will, because
Jay-Z does what he wants.
I think like the biggest like frontier would be getting on iHeartRadio, but that's like later. Yeah, that's like we need to be like really huge at that point to get on that platform. But Spotify is still a great achievement. I'm pretty proud to have the fact that we're on there. So thank you guys for helping us get to that point too, because we definitely need people to listen to us in order to be on these platforms in the first place. Oh God, I've definitely enjoyed doing this.
So have I.
Like it's something I didn't know that I wanted to do, because originally I'm thinking my whole like way into gaming was going to be like digital art and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm going to be a graphic designer.
Plus, I mean, this gives me an outlet to kind of like flex my writing, because I love to write, but I always feel like I don't have a whole lot to write about. But then I get to write about stuff like this.
Yeah.
I get to do my segments when I get the time. I get to do articles and stuff, and it's all great. It's all good stuff.
Yeah, I like the fact that I remember at one point I was so opposed to writing. Like, we don't read to
I remember.
write. I was so opposed to it, because I'm like, people don't read.
Yeah, I remember that being a thing.
Yeah, that was my short-sightedness, because I was like, we do video only, and I'm like, people read, Michael. But that was like, because
I that was a thing. I didn't even want to argue with you about it. I just, you know what? Whatever, man.
I think once we launched the site, the official site, that helped, because at that point, like, okay, we can like actually write about stuff. It gave us actually a place to have our writing too, and it's helped because people read the stuff.
Yes.
I'm looking and I'm seeing the views. And I'm like, oh, this is good. Some stuff I'm like, I'm scared that people read this.
Yeah. There are times I write a thing and I know what I said. I ain't gonna take it back. But I'm not gonna go back. I'm like, I don't want to go with that stick. I don't want to go to that fire. Y'all got this.
Oh, I have a question. So how do you think you've changed as far as like your views on stuff over the years since we first started to now?
So a lot of times I have opinions and things, and when I think them, they are very unrefined. I think in doing this, I have been able to take a moment to pause and think more diplomatically about the things I want to say, as opposed to saying, this is terrible. This is god awful. Get this trash out my face. I could say, I think this game didn't reach its full potential, and here's why. I think it's made me a bit more of a critical thinking person when it comes to my video games, when it comes to the industry at large, when it comes to thinking about the bigger picture in the industry. It's definitely helped me do that, as opposed to saying, this thing sucks. And I think that has been important, because it's helped me talk to people who may still think in the way I used to. Like, okay, why does it suck? Or why do you think it sucks? And what would you do to make it not suck? So I think I've gotten that experience, and I think it's been valuable, not just in, this, but in many other things that I do and say in life.
That's good. I think my political views have definitely changed since I first started doing this. Yeah. Like, I've become probably the biggest SJW of all time over the last maybe 7 years we've been doing this. Like, my views now are vastly different than what they used to be.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know how you aren't wearing a shirt that just says men with the stop sign on it.
And it's because, like, I think because I've experienced more things, I've talked to more people, and I've started to open my eyes to things that I normally wouldn't have. And that's definitely shaped how I view games now. Because at some point, I'm like, oh, it's just a game. It's just a game. It's just a game. That was my thing. Now, like, these games have real impact on people. Yeah. Like, real impact. People really...
I think we both come away knowing that representation does matter.
Yes. I remember we were like, man, that was the biggest myth of all time for both of us. Like,
shut up, nerds.
Yes.
It's just a game, nerds.
Just play it. And I think, like, the whole, like, landscape has changed so much, and I think we both just experienced way more back than we have then. We were young kids at that point. Now we're like real adults. Like, we're like legit real adults now, and we have like real legit adult experiences that we've both experienced now. So it's helped shape both of us as far as how we digest games now.
Definitely.
Like, I can't just look at the game like, man, that's kind of like objectifying her, but okay. Like, I think now we're a little bit more self-aware too than we were.
Yeah, from racial stuff to gender stuff, it's all just seeing more of the world and seeing how it's being put into art. Yes.
Another thing I noticed is that we could talk way more about money back then than we do now. We had a whole city report. Yeah. We talked a lot about money, how much money stuff made and stuff. We don't talk about a lot of that much. Like, I did a city report last week because I was trying to get a little like extra content on the site, but other than that, like, I don't spend as much time as I used to thinking like with money as far as like game is concerned.
Because money doesn't matter as much, especially when you know that the money now is made through some of the most ill-gotten games. Oh god. Like, that used to be something that was celebrated. Like, yeah, this game made this much money. And I don't want games to fail. I just want them to succeed ethically.
Yeah. The ethics part has definitely shifted from back then to now. I think back then they didn't have such a good grasp on like DLC and stuff. So they were doing like less shady practices. Whereas now, man, they find all the ways to nickel, dime.
And if you want to argue that what they're doing now is perfectly ethical, I may point you to EA. Yeah. To 2K. Yep. To Ubisoft.
Yep. Would you go to Activision too?
Oh, man. Activision put microtransactions in the game that originally didn't have it.
Because they need more money.
Oh, man. Modern Warfare, when that came out, microtransactions weren't even a thing. But now, if you want to play it on PS4, Xbox, you'll see them right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are the kings of install the fan base now, add the money later. Yeah. Like they did with Black Ops 4. Yeah.
It's just crazy how the industry has changed. I think looking back on our show is just an easy like little time capsule of how gaming has changed too. Like, it's shifted so much.
Like, our biggest complaint then was like, why do we get this stuff when we pre-order but we don't if we don't? Yeah. That was the biggest issue we had at the time.
There's so much to complain about. Like, oh god, there's so much. Times have definitely changed.
About other stuff like monetization that it's hard to get to the part where you complain about the game.
Man, that's like the biggest hurdle right now. Like, we're looking at games like, oh man, they got this character I want and I can't get it unless I do this, and this, which involve money.
I don't know how many times I've said to myself, man, this game looks really good, but this monetization though. Yeah. There are games I have not bought specifically because of that. Such as Shadow of War. I think that's the one. Even though now they don't have it.
They took it out.
Yeah, they took it out and I could buy it. I probably am at some point when it's like $10 or something.
It will be $10 at some point.
Yeah, because, they got the money they wanted out of it and then left.
Yep. And now they can put it on sale on all the platforms digitally for like pennies and dimes, still get money.
Yep. So Assassin's Creed Odyssey looks great.
Oh, I want that game.
Yeah, but the microtransactions, boy.
I'll wait.
Especially when it's got like level caps on certain areas.
Yikes.
And level progression is about like, it's so slow.
Yikes.
But hey, you can spend money on some time savers.
Yuckity yuck. Oh, something just popped in my head. Remember our old like theme song was the Persona 4 song?
Yes.
Oh, it was a good time.
Those were the pixelated one.
Yes, the 16-bit one was just godlike. That was so good.
We should get a theme song.
Huh?
We need a theme song now.
We do need a more official theme song than the one we have now.
Yes.
We kind of do.
Looks like I'm searching for music. That's, not copyrighted.
Oh, yeah, that's the hard part, is the non-copyright part, because,
I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of people who, would lend us a track as long as we credit them.
Okay. That's something to do. That's on the to-do list. Do you have any, final things you want to talk about for this 7th anniversary and what to look forward to in the future?
Man, look. What I'm looking forward to, right? There are some things I miss doing that I wish we could go back to doing again, like a little meetups and stuff that we used to do.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
Yes, and I want to get to a point where we are a brand that gets invited to stuff like E3.
We get invited to stuff. We just don't get invited to stuff that's here in America.
No, I'm saying I want to be invited to stuff that's here in America.
Oh, that's the hard part.
Yes, and I want us to be able to do that. I want us to be able to do that with all expenses paid and stuff.
That.
Like the IGN money.
Oh, you want that money? You want that shmoney?
I mean, yeah, but I want to do it without shilling.
I want to do it without
which
shilling.
might be impossible.
I want to do it without shilling. I want to do it where it's ethical and we don't seem like complete trash.
I at least want to be able to travel to that. I want to be able to do that, whether it be on our dime or not. I want us to be able to do really cool stuff because this has been an awesome ride. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to say that what we're doing.
We got invited to something that happened in Korea. I was like, we're not going to be in Korea though, so we can't go. NIS always invites us to their little thing they have at E3, but we don't be having.
So I guess the wish is that we get the time and money.
We just need some travel money. That's all we need. We need dollary dues.
And don't worry, this isn't the part where we plug our Patreon.
I haven't, I heard about doing it. People have told me I should do a Patreon. I'm I don't know what I could offer people that they can't get already.
Yeah. And we ain't to a point where we can just be like, hey man, just support us because you want to support us.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love that, but
I might do people do one-time donations and stuff if they want to.
Yeah.
Maybe that.
Do a fundraiser for E3. Do a GoFundMe for E3.
Yeah, maybe something like that. That might be an option. It's always next year, so we can always do stuff like that.
Yeah, so we can be bored in person at what's there for Square Enix.
All right. Thank you guys so much for supporting us over these last 7 years. If you're a new fan, if you're an old fan, if you're somewhere in between, we appreciate you and we thank you. We hope that we've been able to entertain you over these last 7 years. We hope to continue to do it even more in the future.
We have to be around too.
Probably will.
Follow us on our social medias.
Yes, please.
I mean, if you play some fighting games, we do too.
Yes.
We'll run some fades.
I mean, I'm always out for First to 5 and Soul Calibur, so please, if you want these problems.
And I will play you First to 5 and Street Fighter 5.
If you want a knife fight, please let me know.
Yikes, not a knife fight.
Thanks you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next time.